Okay, welcome back to the automated TV. Today's broadcast is Friday, June 5th. It is early in the morning. I've got everything set up. Thank you for two more new subscribers, 141 now. So really doing well. I'm very, very pleased on our progress, and we're just gaining more every single day. So I'm very, very pleased because of that. And also tried a different look today. Just figured maybe something a little bit more formal, something a little bit more spiffy, if you will, rather than my normal t-shirt. So let's try something new and let's get started. Okay. All right. So we are going to talk about what it's all about hacking again. Now, a new virus that gets literally smarter and more creative every single time it infects a new device. So researchers at the University of Toronto just built in their lab is basically using publicly available open source AI models. It created a prototype network worm that basically is unlike anything cybersecurity has ever seen. So usually regular worms are programmed by one human coder to exploit one particular issue. But this one, basically the worm, in my eyes, tries to figure out. So whether it lands on a Linux server, a Windows PC, or your innocent smart home gadget, it shifts, adapts, and keeps moving forward. And basically it's like a digital vampire. So this is the lead researcher Nicholas Papernot put it plainly. Hackers used to be limited by their time, energy, and expensive computing resources, but now with autonomous AI worms like this, once it's launched in the wild, the actual cost of running a massive global cyber attack drops to nearly zero. So, like I said before, right? I believe I was hacked probably with some AI. We talked about this the last couple of episodes and broadcasts as well. Some of the people that are hacked by AI, basically, if you have your attack vector is just so huge because your entire life is on the internet. And so with AI, it just even makes that attack vector even bigger. So, that's something I need to have a discussion with one of my friends who started a startup in cybersecurity on how to do this. I mean, I know we're supposed to have a chat. I've been putting off. It's my bad. But hopefully we can have a chat today and we can discuss that because the attack vector is tremendously big in cybersecurity now because of AI, and everybody will need something to protect themselves, something that they've never had before, right? You had human scale viruses, you had human scale hackers, but now it's AI enabled hackers. And I think that's just an entirely different kettle of viruses. Okay, next section. All right, so we've got the UK government legally dragged Google into giving website owners their power back. Good on you, UK government. You've got a bit of spine. Picture this, you spend years writing brilliant articles, building your website from scratch and growing your loyal audience. Google shows up, AI shows up, hoovers up all your hard work, spits out a tidy little summary. So as of June 3rd, 2026, Google announced it's building an absolute game changer and an opt-out tool for publishers. So website owners can finally say, nope, not today, Google, and then they can have their precious content used inside AI, features like AI overviews and ammo. So basically, the UK government dragged Google into this. The UK's Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, is a world first. I've never heard of it. And it had already flagged Google as having strategic market access back in October 2025. And by January 2026, regulators were pushing incredibly hard for publishers to get real legally binding about how publishers can say their content is being used. Okay, this is actually pretty interesting, pretty cool. I don't know if most people will do it, to be fair, because right now it sounds like technically it's actually pretty difficult. So publishers will literally just flip a toggle inside Google Search Console. Like, how many people actually know where the search console is, which is a free tool websites like owners use anyway. So again, I don't know how many people actually know how to use this. And once their switch is flipped, their content totally disappears from Google AI powered features. Now for the best part, the SEO relief. Opting out carries zero penalty on regular Google search. So your regular SEO will rank just as highly, and I guess you just won't show up on AI overview or AI mode. Interesting. So the opt-out features will only have to select group of UK publishers first, and then it's officially going global. So this makes a lot of sense, right? The UK likes, the popular saying, right? Europe likes to regulate. Europe is very good at regulating. US is very good at innovating, and China copies. Look, it's stereotypes, but still there's some kernel of truth to it as well. And in this case, you can see that actually Europe is actually doing an interesting, good job regulating, which is a fantastic thing. My view is it is good. My view is that good on Google to do that. I think it's to some degree much ado about nothing, in the sense that most people will not. I would assign maybe 10% of people will actually not care and not do anything about it. 9% will be scanned and used for AI, but at least you have the power to do it. And I think that is important. And I think furthermore, it's the recognition that ultimately the internet is, in a couple of broadcasts ago, I said, which is basically, we create the internet. We created everything that AI is utilizing the stuff that we created to monetize again. I don't think that's barely right. So I think it starts putting that conversation back into play, which is, we create the internet. We should have a share of AI. We should have a share of OpenAI. We should have a share of Anthropic. Is it Bernie Sanders' share, 50% of profits? Not sure what that magic medium is. I'm not sure what that magic number is, but I think it begs the question, and I think it pushes the question to the right space. Okay, on to the next section around the AI block. We have Claude AI, what's free in 2026 and what isn't. Meta's AI agent for WhatsApp Business is now officially global. I'm going to take a look into that a little bit more. Google launches Drumbeats, which is AI turns your data into stories. I was actually playing with music. I wanted to see whether Google actually updated the music AI. Macron invites Sam Altman G7 in France's AI power play. I wanted to read into that. I saw a couple titles yesterday about that. Big tech's data centers face growing water crisis. I'm going to look into that. And actually, I wasn't part of a discussion yesterday with one of our funds and fund partners. And essentially, they have they're doing water data centers on water. So like on ships, on like, what do they call it? Like the old oil rigs, right? So it's cooler. It's away from kind of messy ideas and people living. I thought that was pretty interesting. Amazon will show AI product images when you search for some reason. I know someone that's actually doing that as well in China. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's just easier to do AI product images now, more so now than ever before, right? And you can do it different permutations. You can do it on different faces, different pigments, different clothes, much faster. This is the future. California City overwhelmingly votes to permanently ban data centers. I definitely want to follow up and see what's going on there. A new Microsoft tool lets devs spin up AI behavioral tests using text descriptions. Okay, let's take a look here. TechCrunch on Meta's AI agent for WhatsApp Business is now officially available. I actually have WhatsApp Business, but I do not have this. AI is now infusing AI into that layer in a bid to turn WhatsApp into a viable piece of workflow software for small and medium businesses. Meta Business Agent, so I need to download that later on. Actually, I need to ask someone to get that. Or available globally within WhatsApp. So it's within WhatsApp. And then essentially it allows AI agent to answer customer questions, recommend products, book appointments, and qualify sales leads, and blah, blah, blah. Be an agent, be a customer service agent. Great. So hopefully I can play around with it. I don't have that much for people to do, but who knows, right? Maybe I can find some use for it. So if you have WhatsApp, especially if you have WhatsApp Business, you can now use AI agents. Okay, so Macron invites Sam Altman to G7 in France's AI power play. Came from a Tech Buzz article. I saw this, hello, AI image, France and Macron. So OpenAI gets rare invite as France positions itself as AI-friendly hub. I thought that was interesting. I thought they would actually, the reason I thought it would be interesting is that they would actually invite Mistral and not OpenAI. Mistral, for our subscribers, is essentially France's OpenAI. So why would they invite OpenAI and not Mistral? Which I thought that was kind of strange. He's going as Macron's guest. Macron has spent the past 2 years courting Silicon Valley's AI elite, positioning France as the European answer to America's tech dominance. Interesting. France. But again, I would think that it was, produced, Jan LeCun of Meta, it produced Mistral. It says nothing about Mistral. Anyway, I would think that it was Mistral. I'm quite familiar with France. When I worked in London, the Station F is there as a startup hub. They had a lot of great entrepreneurs, a lot of great VCs. I have a lot of respect for the French venture capitalists, a lot of respect for French startups as well. But quoting OpenAI is a bit weird. They were always kind of, we can build our own type of stuff. So I'm not quite sure what the idea was. Maybe it is saying like, look, we can play with Mistral and OpenAI and Anthropic at the same time. So it could be that. Could be that. But to report OpenAI, I think that's kind of interesting. Don't know why. Okay. All right. Tech Buzz article, big tech data centers face growing water crisis. Google, Microsoft race to fix water consumption as AI boom strains local supplies. And look, we've talked about this. Local centers have, communities have actually said no to data centers. And it is true. Data centers have always been water intensive operations. It has supercharged consumption. And 100%, this is not so good. Again, I think this is kind of where building on water like an oil rig may make sense and allows that water to be recycled. I'm not clear exactly what it does to the water. Is it purely just kind of cooling, or is it more to that? It has to rinse it and everything, and therefore it dirties the water. I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure, look, if it work on oil rigs, maybe it works for data centers as well. So I think definitely watch the space. Definitely watch the space for data centers with water. Okay. So California City overwhelmingly votes to permanently ban data centers. Monterey Park is first where residents have voted on ban. So this is from the Telegraph. Permanently banned data centers on Tuesday. And look, I think where residents worry about negative environmental effects, increasing utility prices, and the proximity to homes. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense to me. Like I say, supplementing what I said before in the previous bit about the article, maybe data centers need to be near water or on water rather than near communities where people can live, right? So we need data, like it's a rock in a hard place. Well, two opposing forces coming together. We need data centers, that's for sure. They don't fit in communities, that's also for sure. Communities are where people live, that's for sure. On water, seems like it'll work. Seems to me it'll work. So hopefully that will be the solution. Okay, next section, trending tools. We've got 4 today. We've got for frame-by-frame video editing, Aleph 2.0 is Runway's specialized video editing engine built for temporal consistency by altering an element, like clothing, color, or background. In just a single reference line, the AI programmatically applies the same exact edit across sequences up to 30 seconds in 1080p. For instant corporate decks, Doki AI is a text-to-presentation engine that converts raw notes, outlines, or documents into format slide decks. I've played with a couple of them, right, where you can actually play with slide decks. Again, my thing is playing with slide decks. Don't outsource everything to AI. You still need to do some of it because it just doesn't get everything right. For zero latency voice alignment, LipSync is a high-fidelity facial animation tool designed for rapid avatar creation and localized voiceovers. Makes a lot of sense. I think video and AI has a lot to do. So very, very cool. And for full stack audio manipulation, Lalals is a unified vocal studio for musicians and creators. It handles text to song generation, high accuracy voice cloning, and AI voice overs. So cool. Take a look at these tools. Let us know which one you like to play around with, which one will actually work for you. And that way we can let everybody know and everybody is a beneficiary of your advice. Okay, our last section, AI workout of the day, how to have AI build your own online store. It's got a picture of a robot. So the financial stakes generated of AI alone is expected to add between 240 billion and 390 billion annual value for retailers. So how do you do this? You tell the AI if you're dropshipping, phone cases, or selling handmade candles. You pick your colors and fonts. The AI uses to build a custom design that doesn't look like a 1990 GeoCities page. I actually had a GeoCities page. Thank you very much. The build, in minutes, the AI generates the site, writes the descriptions, and sets up the checkout out. The stock stores tools like storebuild.ai even come with winning products preloaded so you can start selling immediately. Cool. All right. Look, this sounds actually pretty cool. I'd love to know if you're actually doing something similar to this and you're using AI to sell your clothes or sell something. Let us know if you're using this prompt or if you use something similar to this. Let us know in the comment section. I'd love to maybe even get you on the podcast, on the show, to talk about actually your experience, because I think this is incredibly powerful to be able to do. So let us know again in the comment section. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed this broadcast. I enjoyed delivering it to you. Again, anything you have, thoughts, comments, suggestions, please let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for new additional subscribers. Let's break it to 150 before the weekend or the week is over. And I hope to see you in the next broadcast. Hopefully you liked my suit.